can't get on StreamYard. It must be StreamYard. I'll see if y'all come on. Gosh, so frustrating. This is what's happening. So I'm pretty sure it's StreamYard. We're just going to see if... I can't get on StreamYard. StreamYard's messed up. I think. Because I have a full Wi-Fi signal. And this is what's happening. It's just spinning. I can't get on. No, it's StreamYard. It's not my Wi-Fi. Please ensure you're connected to the internet. If you are, this may be on our end. Yes, it is StreamYard. Now I'm all messed up. So I am just on YouTube. I am not on Facebook. I can't go. I wonder if I can get on Facebook on my computer. I'm sorry, y'all. Hang on. Let me see. I don't even know if I know how to get live on my Facebook. Let's see. How do I get live? Hang on, y'all. Bear with me while people join. It sucks being old and not knowing how to do anything. Let's see. It's awful. Oh, y'all bear with me. Let people join. Judy's trying to figure... Oh, live video. That's weird. Create live video event. Go live. Go live. Hang on. I'll tell you this. I don't know if you guys can agree with me. Am I live? Wait a minute. When you use your phone all the time and then go try to use your computer to work YouTube or go live. Go live. It won't let me go live. Wonder if it's Facebook that's jacked up. What is my ownership in this? I'm a DA. That's what my ownership. It looks... Let me show y'all. There I am, but I can't... I'm not live. Start screen sharing. What the heck? Streaming software. On Facebook, it shows I'm live. Oh, gosh. I have no idea. But there's nothing up here. I can't be live on Facebook. Am I live on Facebook? YouTube, I am on. Yes, YouTube, I'm live. But I don't know. I was trying to be live on... God, I have no idea. Look, I need help, so I'm just going to sign off. I'm signing off Facebook. I don't know how to do it. Okay. So, I don't know where I was at in the middle of me going live, but obviously StreamYard is janked up. It's not my Wi-Fi. Okay, I am just gonna be a city slicker. I feel like when I wear my hair back and I don't have bangs, I feel like I'm like forehead Willie. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like forehead. You know what I'm saying? It's like forehead as soon as you see me. Anyway, so I'm struggling with what to do. Today is clean the duck pond day. So it's like silly to even try to get ready because I'm going to be in duck poo from head to toe. And the group home's coming today. Okay, I need your help. I need your help. And I'm gonna get ready. But I know that I was going with this in a story before we got disconnected. But basically, you know how I say anytime you're in a situation, you have to stop and look and go, what is my ownership? Right? That's the best version of yourself, is to figure out not what they did wrong, but what did you do wrong, you know? Because believe it or not, we're not perfect, right? And every situation, we have some type of ownership, whether we allowed the situation to happen or we're not good at setting boundaries, or we're not good at communicating, or we're a people pleaser, and all these things that is our ownership kind of get us in situations. And so when you stop and break things down and figure out your ownership is the moment you become the best version of yourself, because you're not blaming other people. You're looking from within and how you can fix you, because you can't fix other people. You can only fix you. So in this situation, what I'm about to talk about, I had broke this son of a gun down. I've tried to figure out my ownership, and I can't find anything wrong that I've done. Serious. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put you in front of me. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to talk to the backup dancers about it, and maybe y'all can help me break this down, because you've been following me long enough to know how to break things down. Because I am not figuring this out. I've shared with you a little bit of this story, but you don't know the whole shebang. So I'm going to start from scratch. So when Larry was in the nursing home, and he had been there for 3 months, and it was time for Medicaid, to apply for Medicaid, the nursing home said, you know, how much money do you have left? And so I began to tell them. They were like, listen, you need to pay off, because Larry wanted to get a new car. That was a mistake. That was my ownership in that. That's my ownership. I just figured it out. Was he had no business getting a new car, okay? But he drove me crazy to get a new car. And I told Shane, I'm like, he worked his whole life. You know, I mean, if he wants a freaking new car, let him get it. Because at the time, he was driving. So, the nursing home said you need to pay off the car before you run out of money. Because Medicaid allows you, the person, to have a vehicle. And you're going to need a vehicle, you know, if he wants to go to lunch or, you know, all that stuff. So, I went, I guess this may be my ownership too. I'm old school. I went to the bank and got a cashier's check. Apparently nobody does that anymore. Well, I didn't know that. I thought that was the right thing to do, is to send a cashier's check. Nowadays, when you want to pay off something, you wire it. You go to the bank and they wire it to Toyota. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in the old days, and I thought I was supposed to go get a cashier's check. And when I got the cashier's check, the bank didn't say anything to me like, hey, girl, you're stuck in the 90s. We don't do cashier's checks anymore. She did a cashier's check. Well, I got the cashier's check, and I sent it to Toyota.
So the next couple of weeks, they took out a car payment. And so I thought, well, it just hadn't had enough time to get to Toyota yet. It'll be, the next month. Well, the next month came back, come to or whatever, and they took out a payment. And I was like, what the heck? So I called Toyota. And they said, we never got a check. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I did what I thought was right. And I went to, there's 2 banks involved. Wells Fargo is the bank that I went and got the cashier's check out of. That's Larry's savings account. But Larry has a checking account at Regions. And the Regions is where his car payment comes out of. Okay. I go to Wells Fargo and I said, hey, I did a cashier's check to pay off my dad's car. They're still taking out car payments and they're telling me they have not gotten the check. So what am I supposed to do? So she did some research and she said, well, the check has cleared the bank. And I'm like, well, Toyota's saying they didn't get the check. So she prints out a front and back of the copy of the check. And she gives it to me, and I have it. So it doesn't have, on the back of the check, it doesn't have, like, who cashed it. It just says, like, it's electronic. So, like, you can tell it went to a company because it was electronically deposited. It just says, deposited to the account payee. And it's got, like, electronic. So she gave me a front and the back of the check. So I called Toyota and I sent them a copy of the front and the back of the check. And they said they never got it. So then I went back to the bank and I said, they said they never got it. She said, we're going to have to do a fraud claim. I said, okay. So the fraud claim process starts and I get a letter from Wells Fargo that, that they will be communicating with me by mail and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. So, Judy, I'm going to dig myself because Wells Fargo is not going fast enough. And Larry's over here paying car payments on top of, I'll just tell you how much. The cashier's check was $22,000. So there's $22,000 missing on top of Larry having to pay almost $500 a month. Okay? I'm stressing out. Okay? I'm stressing out. So Wells Fargo was like, it's not going to be a quick process. We have to do our research, blah, blah, blah. So I called Toyota and I get this lady and she says, okay, I bet you I know what's happened. I said, okay. And she said, there's a Toyota Financial Services and there's a Southeast Toyota. And people get them confused. And I said, okay, well, it's financed with Southeast Toyota. And she said, well, we don't have the check. And I said, okay, well, someone's cashed this check. Well, I decided, and when I gave her the account number on the back of the check, they don't have an account number with that. She goes, I guarantee you that Toyota Financial Services has this check. So me and my little entrepreneur self, I called Toyota Financial Services. And I said, do you happen to have this account number? And they did. And I was like, okay, they've got the check because this account number goes with them. And so I was sitting there going, what is the difference in Southeast Toyota and Toyota Finance Services? And they were like, we're 2 separate companies. And I'm like, okay, so you cashed this check, but on the check, it's to Southeast Toyota. So how did Toyota Services cash the check? So I call Regions and I said, I think I figured out what the problem is. And I tell them, well, I gave the information and everything sits quiet. Then all of a sudden, I get this phone call from Southeast Toyota. And she said, we found your check. And I was like, oh, praise Jesus. She said, we found your check. It was in a reserve because we didn't know where to apply it. I said, okay. She said, we're going to apply it to your dad's account, and we're going to send you the title, and we're going to send you a refund because the car was actually paid off in August, and we're going to I don't care. So we're going to pay off this car. Okay. And I really think that it's all strange. I feel as the person taking care of my dad's account, I feel like when there's $22,000 involved, there's a check missing, we got a fraudulent claim, things would be done in writing, right? Like somebody's not going to call me on the phone and do all this. Like I'm going to get everything in writing. So I get the title and I'm like, great, his car's been paid off. I got the title. I went, because my dad's on hospice, I go to the courthouse and I take the title and I put the car in mine and my dad's name because my dad's on hospice. I have power of attorney. So I needed to put the car so I could make, decisions and stuff. I put the car in my name and my dad's name. I had no trouble at the courthouse. Everything's good. Everything's good. The car and Toyota told me they would send me a refund for the payments that he paid while the check was lost. Well, I never got the check. Never heard anything from Toyota. Everything is, I'm like, maybe it takes a minute for them to process. Maybe it takes a minute for them to process the refund. I'm not worried about it. Okay? Then all of a sudden, Wells Fargo puts $22,000 in my dad's account. I'm like, what? Like, what is going on here? So I go to Wells Fargo and I said, I don't know what's going on, but the car's been paid off. I said, I don't know what's going on. And she said, before we do anything, let's just get the title back from the state. I said, okay. So I come home. Then I get a phone call from Toyota. And they said, your car's not paid off. You jacklegs sent me the title. What are you talking about? And they're like, the car's not paid off. The check wasn't endorsed. Who the crap is calling me? Like what? Like this is the most unprofessional thing that I've ever been through in my life. I mean, this is not like $400. This is $22,000. You've already sent me the title to the car. You're the one that called me to tell me that the car has been paid off. You sent me the title. What the heck? I said, I've already been to the courthouse. I already have a new tag. With mine and Larry's name on it. Now, the title has not come back from the state yet with my name and Larry's name on it, but I've already paid for everything. Okay, so when she tells me that the car's not paid off, I'm thinking, is this a hoax? Like, who is this lady calling me? How do I know this is real? How do I not know that this is someone at Toyota that has stolen the check, or what is going on? And I'm thinking, there's no way the car is not paid off because you sent me the title. So I sit here, and in my head, I'm like, the lady said to me that the check was not endorsed. Okay, well, I have a front and back of the check where it's cleared Wells Fargo. Like, and I thought in my head, when I went back to Wells Fargo to tell them what Toyota's telling me, I said, I don't understand. I said, I'm not the one that's going to endorse the check. I'm the one that sent the check. The person that endorses the check would be Toyota, not Judy. I'm the one who paid off the car. So I'm not signing the back of the check. So why would the check not be deposited if it wasn't endorsed? Endorse the son of a gun and deposit the check into my dad's account. It's like, what the heck? So I go back to Wells Fargo because obviously there's a refund that I need to give somewhere, right? Because the car's paid off and Wells Fargo is giving me $22,000. So I go back to Wells Fargo and I said, my head is spinning. I said, they're telling me that this car is not paid off, although I have a copy of the front and the back of the check where it's been cleared the bank. Y'all, obviously, as Wells Fargo, would not put $22,000 back into my account if this was not a fraudulent claim. I mean, Wells Fargo's not that dumb, right? Like, something's going to happen. And the crazy thing about it is I have not gotten any communication in the mail by Wells Fargo on the verdict of the fraud claim. No one told me that the $22,000 was going to go back into the claim, into the account, and it was fraudulent from Wells Fargo. And if the check was not endorsed and the check was not applied to the account, why did you send me a title? And if you're not able to deposit the check, wouldn't you mail it back to me? Or wouldn't you send some type of communication in the mail to tell me what has happened? Or, like, why did you send me the title? My head is spinning. And I'm like, you know what? This sounds like I feel sorry for myself. And maybe I do. But I'm like, it is enough to deal with a dad on hospice versus deal with all this crap. When no one is communicating in 2024, no one deals with $22,000 by the phone, right? Like, no one does that. No one in a professional setting is going to have someone call someone on the phone and say, your check didn't cash the bank, although we sent you the title. That sounds like fraudulent to me. So instead of doing anything, the lady at the bank told me to sit still. Sit still. So I'm sitting still. Meanwhile, every single day, I am getting emails that my dad's payment is late. And I mean, to maybe a normal person, that would not bother anybody. It bothers me. Because even though it probably does not matter, I mean, my dad is on hospice dying. Okay, are we worried about his credit score? No. That's the least of my worries. We're not going to be financing anything at this moment, right? But obviously, his credit score is getting janked up because they're saying we're late on payments. And it bothers me because I feel responsible for my dad's credit score probably getting all janked up. I feel responsible. I'm the one that's power of attorney. I'm the one that's supposed to be paying off things. I'm supposed to be keeping things in order. And I feel like everything is just... And I feel like, okay, if the cashier's check for some reason did not clear the bank, no one at Toyota is going to send me a title to a car if the car has not been paid off. And part of me is worried that if, for say, Wells Fargo was to take this $22,000 back, and I don't have the title back to the state, I'm going to open up a can of worms. So I decided to just sit still, chill out, allow I feel like harassing emails to come to me every single day to say I'm not paying off this car and I've not paid the car payment. I'm like, let me just sit here. Because I realize someone is due a refund. Someone is due I'm not the type of person that's going to steal $22,000. Okay? That's not in my vocabulary here at Snead's Farmhouse with Aunt Judy. I'm here to do the right thing. But I have no idea at this point what the right thing is. So I decided in my head what I'm going to do is wait for the title to come back from the state. Because in the midst of all this, I go back to the courthouse and I said, listen, because Toyota's telling me that the title's no good. So I go to the courthouse and I sit the lady down and I said, is it possible? Because I don't know, never done titles. I said, is it possible that the title that I sent off and paid for and got a new tag for is no good? She said, if the title was no good, I wouldn't have been able to process it. I said, so the title that I endorsed and put it in my name and my dad's name is a good title. She said, yes, it's good. I said, okay. So there's no way for Toyota to say this title is no good. She said, there's no way I could process this title and put it in your name and your dad's name if the title was no good. That's all I need to know. Okay. So I'm sitting here very confused. This has been the most unprofessional transaction that I've ever been through. And again, it's not like this is a little bit of money. And I'm like, Toyota, if you're listening to me and you're watching my live, you tell me what you would do if you were in my shoes. If someone sent you a title to the car's been paid off, right? Like, nobody is going to mistakenly send a title without the check being cashed. And if I have a front and back of the copy of the check where it's been deposited by Wells Fargo, because guess what? Toyota, guess where they bank? They bank for Wells Fargo. So you think for a second to me that Wells Fargo is going to give someone $22,000 back without the claim being fraudulent? If Wells Fargo handles my account my dad's account, and Southeast Toyota, and they gave me the money back. Okay, well, they're not going to just give $22,000 back to someone who hasn't been a case of fraud. Right? They're not going to just hand over $22,000 without something being going on. But if Toyota calls me on the phone and tells me that they have my check and they send me a title, I'm thinking, because at this point, I did not get the money back from Wells Fargo. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, they got the check, they applied it to Larry's account, they sent me the title in the mail, it's over. The investigator for Wells Fargo has never picked up the phone and called me and said, this is the situation. This is what's happened. But apparently, from the bank, the investigator can't tell me what's happened by law. They can't say, because I'm thinking in my head, if I owe Toyota this money, why did they send me the title? I'll never buy a Toyota. I'll tell you that. Toyota will never ever be purchased by Judy Snead. Because and honestly, parts of me want to leave my bank. But, and the reason I say that, I mean, yes, the money was insured. I did get the money back. But wouldn't you write me a letter and say, we have deposited $22,000 after investigation? You owe Toyota $22,000. We're going to deposit this into your bank. It was a fraud claim, and you owe Toyota $22,000. And then I would have called Wells Fargo and said, they've already sent me the title. They already sent me the title. Listen, I have broke this down. I have been on the phone with Toyota, so they haven't called me per se. They called me to tell me that the title was no good. Or somebody did. But I do not believe in a million years that Toyota is just going to pick up the phone and call someone and say, hey, you owe us 22. We know you sent us 22, but you owe us another 22. No one sent me the... If the check was never endorsed, endorse it. The check is in Toyota. Endorse it. How did you deposit the check without it being endorsed? You know? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't endorse the check. You do. It sounds like someone's made a big boo-boo. Either the person that called me to tell me the car was paid off, that sent me the title, she's probably fired from Toyota now for doing that. I don't know. But that was one mistake. If the car's not paid off, that would be one mistake. Dude, you sent me the title. The car's not paid off, but you sent me the title. Okay, I have already processed the title and put it in mine and Larry's name. No, I've not gotten it back from the state yet. But I would think there's no way Toyota would send me a title if the car was not paid off. But there's no way that Wells Fargo would refund my money if it wasn't a fraudulent claim. So what am I supposed to do? I have no clue. But I'm not about to send Toyota $22,000 until A, Wells Fargo tells me this check has not cleared the bank, because they sent me a copy. I have, and you know what's crazy? I have a letter from Toyota that the car's been paid off and they received the final payment. It came with the title. Makes no sense to me. Somebody got $22,000 because Wells Fargo would not give it back to me if someone didn't get $22,000. And I feel like the refund should be with Wells Fargo. But I don't know that yet. And again, in my head, if I do owe Toyota $22,000, well, how about sending me the unendorsed check? Send it back to me showing me that it hasn't been deposited. Make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside and send me something in writing. There's somebody at fault. There's somebody at fault. And I mean, if Larry got a paid off car and $22,000, that would be weird. I mean, that would be super weird. I feel like the problem lies within Toyota, personally. And the reason is because if indeed the car was not paid off, someone screwed up and sent me the title. So there's a mistake on Toyota's end. But see, I don't know if the person calling me on the phone is the person that maybe because I'm like, part of me goes, did someone at Toyota deposit the check into their account? Like, was there fraud within Toyota? So the check indeed got deposited, but it wasn't into Toyota's account. Like, did someone in Toyota cause a fraud problem? I don't know the right word. But I'll tell you something. If Judy Snead, if that title comes back to me, I'm very disappointed at Toyota. You would think Toyota would... They told me the second time they called me to tell me that the check wasn't endorsed and they didn't deposit it. You would think she would say, someone screwed up at Toyota and we sent you a title by accident. Oh, I'm sorry. Because I had to pay over $100 to get the title changed into mine and Larry's name and get a new car tag. So who's out that money? Me? So I'm just out $100. It was $111. So I'm just out $111, and my time and trouble. I've spent so much time and effort into this case, me trying to dig and do research myself. And the whole thing is in the beginning of this conversation, I told you there's Southeast Toyota and Toyota Financial Services. Okay, let me tell you what's weird. This is what's weird. If they're not the same company, we financed it through Southeast Toyota. But you know who's taking out the car payments out of Larry's account every month? Like when I go look at his checking account, it says Toyota Financial Services withdraws the payment out every month. Well, the person on the phone told me that they're not the same company. Obviously you are, because we financed it through Southeast Toyota. I'm looking at the paperwork. And Toyota Financial Services is taking out the car payment every month. So obviously you are the same company. Obviously you are. Because there's no way that this would happen. And again, I'm not trying to jack anybody out of money. I just, as the, what do you call me, the consumer, I'm very confused. I can't imagine in a million years that Toyota would send me a title to the car without the car being paid off. And then, oh, okay, I need to tell you more to the story, Cheryl. So when I got the phone call that the car had not been paid off, although I'd already gone and had everything changed into my name, Toyota is still taking out car payments. So I went to Larry's bank and I said, stop the car payments. Stop them. And I told her, I took all the paperwork in here. I said, here is where Toyota sent me that they had received the check. Here is where the check has been deposited, that the car has been paid off. Here is where I went to the courthouse to get the car put in mine and Larry's name. Here is the tag for the car. I said, so car payments have been taken out since August and the car was paid off. So Regions, where the car payment's being taken out, did a fraudulent claim and refunded Larry for all the car payments that he had paid since the car had been paid off. Because I had all the paperwork to show every bit of it. So I stopped the car payments from being taken out of Larry's account, which made Toyota send me emails every single day telling me that the car payment has not been paid. And I told Larry, or Shane, I said, if they repossess this car, I'm going to flip my lid. I am going to flip my lid. But I can assure you that Judy Snead is a smart little cookie. And I have all my paperwork. And I'm going to tell you something. Toyota does not have any written document that they have mailed to me to show me that any of this has been done. They did not mail me back the check that supposedly was not endorsed. So if they come and repossess this car, there's no way they can keep it because I have the title to the car. I have all the paperwork where I had received the title. The courthouse has the title, and the title has been put in mine and Larry's name. So there's no way they can repossess this car. And if I get this car repossessed in the middle of a field trip, I'm going to be so mad. How am I going to take that as a learning lesson to these kids? Always keep your paperwork. Always have a running file. To me, a phone call, somebody calling Judy Snead to tell me that the car's not been paid off, that I need to send them $22,000 more means nothing to me. That sounds like fraud to me. Does that sound like fraud to y'all? And to be honest, all the stuff that we've been through, I'm like, we deserve a payoff car and the $22,000. But I'm going to do the right thing. I don't know what the right thing is, though. I don't know if Toyota indeed is supposed to have the money. But I'm going to tell you this. They ain't getting it from a phone call from me. That ain't going to happen. So, I'm about finished. And I've got to read y'all's comments. What would you do? I feel like sometimes when you're in situations, sitting quiet is the best place to be. Because the truth will come out on whatever I'm supposed to be doing. It'll come out. Right? It'll come out. And let's see what y'all are saying. You keep the money. I just feel like and the Toyota person that called me, first of all, I was driving down the road when she called to tell me that the title was no good. This is how I feel. God, my glasses are terrible. This is how I feel. I would think, now this is me. If I was Toyota and I was like, we just sent this chick the title and the car's not paid off. Oh, crap, we sent her the title. I'm saying, you can't tell me that Toyota can't write that crap off that they've screwed up on. $22,000 to Toyota is not a lot of money. So obviously, if the title isn't valid, let's just say, or they sent me the title by mistake, that's a big old mistake. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? That's a huge mistake by Toyota. But is that the consumer's fault? I did the right thing. I sent the payoff. I sent the payoff. I did the right thing. I went to the bank. They gave me a front and back of the check. It's not like I was trying to scam them. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds like to me, that this is a mistake by Toyota. Because there's no way in Hello Kitty that Wells Fargo is going to give me $22,000 for no reason at all. So it sounds like to me that Toyota needs to clean house with their employees. Because someone at Toyota has janked something up. And it sounds like it's not just one employee. It sounds to me like it's multiple employees. Because someone someone electronically put that check into the bank, because there's no way Toyota would have sent me the title without them having the check in hand. And there's no way they're going to send me the title without the check clearing the bank. Surely Toyota's not that dumb. Surely. They need to screen their employees a little better, I think. Crazy story, isn't it? And this poor little feeble man is on hospice dying. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, there's enough stress in our lives to not have to deal with this bull crap. I was just trying to pay off the freaking car. I was trying to do what the nursing home told me to do. And then I'm trying to take care of Larry. And I can't even pay off a flipping car. And then, you know, I told you guys, what time is it? Oh, I got time. I told you guys that I'm going to be traveling to Gulf Shores to get, because I'm trying to take care of my dad. Part of taking care of my dad is I need to sell his property. I need to sell his property. I can't sell his property because my brother, my other brother, me, and Larry are on the property. Larry's willing to sell. I'm willing to sell. And one of my brothers is willing to sell. And then there's this other brother that's homeless, that is in and out of jail more times than I can throw a stick at. And he has court on the 26th. And I went and hired a lawyer to draw up the paperwork for me to be power of attorney so that I could sign while he's in jail to sell the house. And he gets a fourth of the money. So it ain't like he's getting, I mean, he's going to get a fourth of the sale of the house. Okay? Well, he was in jail again. And he had 2 holds. He had a hold in 2 other places on top of being in jail in another place. And I thought that he would be in jail. And I was like, this is a perfect opportunity. I called his lawyer, his court-appointed lawyer, and told him the situation, that I needed to sell my dad's house to take care of him. And the lawyer said, if you will bring me the paperwork, I will... No, there's no emails. The only email that I've gotten is that we haven't paid the payment. I told me to get the paperwork, and in jail, he would present it to my brother, but he couldn't guarantee that my brother would sign it. But he would do it. My brother would be in front of a judge, in front of the lawyer, and he would encourage him to sign the paperwork. So I went and hired a lawyer, did all the paperwork, going to Gulf Shores to his court date, and someone bonds my brother out of jail. So then my brother goes to the other jail. Someone bonds him out of that jail. So then he goes to the other jail. And someone bonds him out of there. So my brother is set free now. And the likelihood of me selling Larry's place is probably slim to none. Do you know how hard this is? I'm trying to pay off his car. I'm trying to sell his house. Because I will tell y'all, it costs $28.60 to hire a caregiver to help me. In the past, I hired a caregiver. It was $100 a day for me to hire someone to help me. We can't afford it. No one can afford that. And selling his place would help with funds with me to be able to take care of Larry. I'll give you an example. Why I go to Gulf Shores to handle all this, it's costing Larry almost $1,000 for a caregiver to come in to take care of him, on top of me having to pay someone to take care of the farm because Shane has to work, just to get my brother to may or may not sign. And all I'm doing is trying to take care of my dad. Isn't this fun? And yes, there's people that are less expensive, but you know what happens? When you hire someone to take care of your dad and it's less expensive, there's no background check, there's no drug test, there's no driving test, there's no background checks at all. So in order, listen, no jackleg is coming in here to take care of my dad. Been there, done that before. No one is coming into my house that can't pass a drug test or a background check. Period. Period. No one. No one's coming in this house that has not been properly screened. I feel sorry for the elderly. My heart goes out to the elderly. And if you're someone that is elderly, I freaking love you from the bottom of my heart. And I pray that you have all your finances in order. And I pray that you have good children to take care of you, that will fight for you, just like me fighting for Larry. I pray, and even if you don't have children and you have stepchildren, I pray that your stepchildren will step up to the plate like I have with Larry. Because I'm going to tell you something. When it comes to elderly rights, they're ridiculous. They're ridiculous. I will say this, that I would not survive without hospice. The hospice company that Larry is using is absolutely incredible. 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 They support me. They support Larry. We're dealing with his third UTI since he got home from the hospital. Third UTI. And they're working hard with me to... I'm having to start doing hard things, y'all. Okay? Listen. I am totally having to get out of my comfort zone to take care of Larry. As things start declining, I start having to do things that I never thought I would do. I'm not a nurse. I'm not, like, when it comes to hard things, you know, it's amazing what you can do. The strength that you have to take care of someone, I'm going to tell you. After talking to the nurse yesterday, I was like, oh, Lord, I got to do what? I got to do what? Where? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And it's just like, and, you know, it's so difficult for me to have to do certain things to take care of him. But can you imagine how he feels? Oh, God, Judy's fixed that to give me this. Oh, God. You know, he's probably more uncomfortable than I am. It's just difficult. It's difficult. But I just want you to know that thanks for listening to me today. My desire is to do the right thing. I don't know what the right thing is when it comes to the car. My desire is to do the right things. And I thought in my head, wow, did God just bless Larry with $22,000 for us to help take care of him? Like, did God just pay off his car? Surely Toyota would just send me the title. Surely Toyota would not just send me the title without the car being paid off and then Wells Fargo give me the money. Surely not. Like, what? You know, I'm just like, I want to do the right thing, but I think the right thing at this point is to sit still. that's the right thing to do. It's just to sit still. And, they told me it would take a couple of weeks to get the title back. So I'm just going to sit still because I feel like that's the right thing to do. In the meantime, Larry's car might get repossessed in the middle of a field trip, and I'll have it allotted. Can you see me out there with the field trip and me going, it takes two to... I'm dancing with the kids, and then this tow truck backs up in the driveway, and Larry's car starts going off, and I'm like, oh, dang. The car just got repossessed. Can't you see it? That would be something that would happen to me, right? I'm like, please do not do this. Please. Like, I want to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? But can't you see that? It's like me doing the field trip and the animal control pulls in the driveway. As far as getting his house sold, you know what? My faith in God is so strong that if Larry's house is supposed to sell, my brother will sign the paperwork. If it's not supposed to sell, then I just wasted a lawyer fee, $700 on a caregiver, me driving 5 hours one way, hiring someone for my farm for no reason at all. But I'll be honest with you, I do not believe my brother will sign. And I'm prepared for that not to happen. I'm prepared for that. And if you are someone that deals with addiction in your family, I'm sure you feel my pain. I'm sure you feel my pain. And if you're a caregiver, you feel my pain. And if you're a power of attorney trying to do the right thing for your loved one, you get where I'm going through. It's just difficult. But you know what? You have choices, right? You have choices in life. I can let this defeat me, and I can sit it out and feel sorry for myself and go, this sucks. This literally sucks. I'm trying to do the right thing, and I don't know what the right thing is, and I can lay in the bed and feel sorry for myself, or, speculate what's going to happen and worry and all those things. But see, that's what, to me, Satan wants us to do, is to worry, interrupt our lives, interrupt our peace. But I am choosing to share my story in hopes to help myself and someone else. Because in life is hard, right? You're trying to balance a farm, run a business, be a caregiver, be a power of attorney, handle all the finances, be a wife, all these things all these responsibilities that we have. We try to handle it, right? And the only person that we can control, I can't control Toyota. I can't control Wells Fargo. I can't control Larry. I can't control my brother. I can't control the court system, why they would let my brother out. I can't control any of that. The only thing I can control is how I deal with it. And the ways that help me is, number one, to talk to a friend and go, will you just listen to me? Let me tell you how jacked up this is. Like, I can't make this crap up. Is to talk to someone that you are close to. Number two is do the right thing. Do the next right thing. The next right thing for me is to pause. Because sometimes when you don't know the answer and you don't know what to say, you just need to sit still for a minute. And you got to figure it out. Number three is know you're trying. You're doing your very best. You're trying to take care of your dad in the best way you know how. And at the end of the day, Shane is not going to let us fail. He's not. If Larry runs out of money, let's just say, do you think Shane and I are going to let Larry go without? No. No. We have stood by Larry for the past 7 years. I've never left his side. And I never will. So sometimes when there's things that you can't control, we often want to sit it out and just cry and just wallow in sorrow. But the best thing you can do is sit and go, okay, what can I control? I can control the way I'm dealing with this. This is a lot of struggle. This is a lot of pain. But sitting it out is not the answer. Share your testimony. Move forward. And just know that it's all going to work out. All right. Well, you know, Satan tried to take this conversation away today, and by jacking up StreamYard. But thank you guys for joining me. I don't even know how to sign off here. I guess I just hit the X button. I'm not really sure. Hey, thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for supporting my farm, because I'm going to tell you, you watching my videos, watching my lives, watching, sharing, liking, helps pay for my farm. And it keeps me afloat while I'm trying to take care of my family. So it's because of you that I'm able to do what I'm doing. So thank you so much. I love you. I'll see you next time. I'm sitting here trying to do my computer, and I'm not on my computer. I'm on my phone. I just need to hit the X button. Bye.